lives, which should not be untimely terminated due to avoidable human errors.
To Ogun State, the police command has held a meeting with heads of tertiary institutions, host communities, and students towards tackling headlong security threats being experienced in recent times across tertiary institutions in the state. The strategic security meeting was aimed at repositioning the security architecture around tertiary institutions in the state in the face of the recent threat and infractions which led to the rape of some students at the state-owned University of Education, the Tai Solari University of Education, Ijagun, last month. Addressing participants at the meeting held at Police Officers' Wives Association Hall in Abeokuta, the state capital, the Commissioner of Police, Abiodun Alamutu, identified mistrust, drugs abuse among youth, working at cross purposes by the police, tertiary institutions' heads, and host communities as major challenges fueling the security breach. He, however, assured critical stakeholders of the police resolve towards strengthening security architecture in and around schools in order to restore confidence in the members of the general public. Some of the heads of institutions who shared their experiences blamed it all on drug abuse, hostility, most times by the host communities, among other factors, with a call for effective security architecture to save the situation.
The disturbing part of it is that initial investigation into the crime suggests that there is no love lost between the university, the student union, the student body, the host communities.
And in Osun State, a coalition of civil society organizations known as the Osun Masterminds has berated the Osun State government and its House of Assembly over the suspension of the State Chief Judge, Justice Adekpele Ojo. The Osun Mastermind said it's illegal and unconstitutional for the Legislative House to have unilaterally and speedily reached a resolution and removed the CJ, despite an ex parte order by an industrial court in Ibadan restraining it from taking such step. Addressing newsmen in Osogbo during its November edition of the State of the State address, the group described action of the legislature and the state government as setting template for anarchy and illegality and called for reversal of Adekpele Ojo's removal. It also lamented that the action has created a vacuum in the state judicial system as the government is yet to decide on swearing in of the acting CJ it earlier announced. MITV correspondent reports that the governor had appointed Justice Olayinka Afolabi as the acting chief judge with immediate effect and directed his deputy to swear him in on Friday morning, but yet to be sworn in as at the time of filing this report on Friday evening. Aloy Ejimako, the special counsel to the leader of the indigenous people of Biafra, Nnamdi Kanu, has called on the British Prime Minister Rishi Sunak to intervene in the IPOB helmsman's issue. Ejimako said Kanu holds a British passport, hence Sunak should make it a responsibility to free him. Writing on his X account on Saturday, Kanu's lawyer noted that the United Kingdom does not need court order to free its citizen. The lawyer stated that since the self-determination leader was captured in Kenya, the negotiation of freeing him should be between the East African country and the UK. Kanu has been in the custody of the Department of State Services since June 2021, when he was renditioned by Nigerian authorities. We'll take a break to bring you stories from the foreign scene. Please stay with us. Welcome back. Israeli air raids have killed dozens of people at the Al-Fakura school run by the United Nations Agency for Palestinian Refugees in Jabalia refugee camp in northern Gaza. The Palestinian Ministry of Health said on Saturday at least 50 people were killed in the bombing. Many hundreds of people are believed to have taken shelter there, fleeing the non-stop Israeli attacks. The attack is believed to have taken place in the early hours of the morning. Meanwhile, Israel has made it clear that Palestinians should leave the southern city of Khan Yunis, the main city in southern Gaza, as the war in Gaza intensifies. Mark Regev, an advisor to Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu, told U.S. media that they were asking people to relocate, though it's not easy for them. The White House has welcomed Israel's decision to allow 2 fuel trucks in Gaza each day, but says more is needed. More than 12,000 people have been killed in the territory since Israel began its retaliatory strikes, according to Hamas officials. We'll take another break to bring you sport news. All right, to sport news. South Africa's quest to qualify for the 2026 World Cup got off to a winning start on Saturday afternoon as they defeated Benin 2-1 at the Moses Mahida Stadium in Durban. South Africa got off to a flying start with Percy Tau opening the scoring in the second minute. Bafana deservedly claimed a second goal in injury time at the end of the first half, with Tau and Themba Zani combining to open up the Benin defense before a loose ball in the box was volleyed home at close range by Kuliso Mudau for 2-0 at the break. South Africa lost their attacking rhythm after the restart, and Benin were able to pull a goal back on a counter with 20 minutes of regulation time left to play. In another World Cup qualification match in Africa, the Taifa Stars of Tanzania have kicked off their Group E FIFA World Cup Africa qualifiers on high note after defeating Niger 1-0. The game at Stade de Marrakech in Morocco on Saturday evening has enabled the Envoys to pick a crucial away win. A deflected strike from Charles Momombwa, who has a record of scoring on his national duty debut match, and most importantly, netting the priceless goal on the 56th minute, is enough to put smiles on millions of Tanzanians. Skipper Bwawana Samata and Hajim Nonga both missed good chances to stretch the lead in the second half of the game. And talking tennis, world number 2 Carlos Alcaraz is dreaming of victory at the ATP Finals after setting up a semi-final showdown with Novak Djokovic with a 6-4, 6-4 win over Daniil Medvedev. Alcaraz came into his debut finals appearance struggling with form and injury, but has warmed up as the tournament has progressed and is now a serious threat in the semis, which features the world's top 4 ranked players. Alcaraz needed to win to ensure a spot in the last 4, and he did just that in impressive fashion, cruising to a victory against Medvedev, who had looked hugely impressive in his previous 2 victories in Turin. And that's the news on MITV. Thanks for staying with us. I am Jumoke Michaels. Good night.